They say that a man's home is his castle. You see my castle. In Makati, Philippines, this is a condo. And it's probably about 10 feet by 12 feet. And then I have a kitchen in there and a CR, or a restroom. They call it a comfort room here. And that's it. My possessions are small because my desires are small. My thoughts go to a book that I once read. It's called The Fingerprint of God. And I forget the author, but the man was a cosmologist by profession. And a cosmologist looks into the universe and studies the beginnings of it and studies the things that exist there and the laws that keep the cosmos together. But the man was a Christian, and he was talking about the measurements of the city that John wrote down in Revelation, the New Jerusalem. And he said, according to Bible standards, the city was 1,300 miles one way. In other words, it was 1,300 miles square, 1,300 miles on all four sides. And then the way that John put it forth was, it was like a pyramid 1,300 miles up. And in the center of that pyramid, or at the very top, was the temple of God. Because the Bible says that God had come to dwell with man and to become his God. And it says further that the glory of God, or the emanating power of God, the glory that Moses desired to see. And the Lord said, you cannot look upon my face and my glory and live. So he said, I will take you to the cleft of the rock, or to the cave, and I will cover you with my hand. And as I go by, I will proclaim my glory. And when I uncover you with my hand, you will see only my hinder parts, or my back. And so the Bible says that this city has no need of the sun, for the glory of God is there constantly. Now imagine, if you will, and he went into detail. He said if there were 10 billion people in that city, according to the area. Now this is 10 billion people. I think we have somewhere around 6 billion on the earth right now. And according to estimates, this is more people than have ever inhabited the earth in its entirety. This is in the recorded time. So there are more people on the earth than have ever been here, according to man's standards. But this man said that if there were 10 billion people in this city, occupying this city, they would still have enough room for an estate 14 miles square with a mansion with ceilings 100 feet high. Now that is awesome. That is power. And I think back to my younger days when things were so melancholy. Not melancholy. Things were so unimportant. I was ambivalent to the importance of existence, both spiritually and physically. And the only physical needs that I had were, if I wanted a hamburger, I wanted a hamburger. If I wanted companionship, even in the intimate kind, I wanted companionship. In other words, I was satisfying the lusts of the flesh. Had no thought of God. Had no reality of God. Reality was what I could see, touch, smell, taste around me. Had no idea that there was so many worlds out there. So many unseen forces that were affecting my life even at that time. And now that I come to realize it, and I come to see into the spirit world, as it were, I wonder, how could I have been so blind? How could I have not seen these marvelous realities? These things that were promised that really did not need to be promised. Jesus told his disciples before he died on the cross, for the redemption of man, in my Father's house there are many mansions. I go now to prepare a place for you, that where I am, ye may be also. There had always been a longing for God to reunite with man. I believe there was a quality in man that the holy angels could not satisfy, that fellowship with God. And truly, the angels had the power at one time to make the decision to either follow God or not. But I believe that man has the quality to decide every day to follow God or to go his own way. And that might be what is special between God and man. Because every morning that I get up, I choose to look in the Spirit to that city. I choose to lift my eyes to the place where the throne sits. And my God is. My life, my existence, my reason for being was sitting upon that throne. And I think this is that bond of fellowship, that special bond of fellowship between God and man. For the holy angels are surrounded by righteousness, goodness, the right fellowship, the right atmosphere all the time. The fallen angels are surrounded by an atmosphere that they created, but yet it's just as real. Ambient evil, ambient filth, as it were. But they are living in a world of their choice. Man is not. Man is living in a world where the circumstances around him maybe be his choice. But in reality, every man that exists, if he lived in a world of his choice, he would be rich. He would be well and not sick. He would make decisions and they would all be the right decisions. And he certainly would not have to work by the sweat of his brow until he returned to the dust. So, man is choosing or not choosing to serve God from a world that is not his choice altogether, and that he ultimately does not have any control over. Now that makes the bond between God and man very special, very close, and very profound. God bless you. Selah. Pause and meditate on these words. Search the scriptures. See whether they be of God or not. See whether this prophet seeks to glorify God and his realm rather than the prophet and his life. For continually the anointed of God, even today, it must be said the same way that John said, I must decrease and he must increase. I must constantly take the back seat in the auditorium and let him flow through me and the people so that he is lifted up and he is glorified. Keep your testimony strong. Stand on that solid rock and let no storm or winds of trial make your anchor insecure or unsecure. God bless you. Jesus is at the door waiting for that jester to show God that he's ready to go, and God is ready for him to go. Maranatha, God bless you and prosper you in all the ways you desire.